Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the WSSEA 2025 fall season. We've got an exciting wild card game before we get into our playoffs here that start a little bit later this week. But before I get into all of that, as always, I've got to introduce my handsome friend on my digital right here. D-Lo, how we feeling today, my friend?
Feeling good, man. The wild card, right? It's getting a bit crazy here. We're getting a bit off the chains, off the rails, but we're ascending into the chaos rather shortly onto that map of Ascent. We've seen one of these teams before here. It's going to be Freda, and last time they were gracing the stream, Hot Sauce, it was unfortunately on the worst end of the matchup. Maybe this time they have a better hand because whichever team ends up winning this one has got that shot in the playoff spot.
Yeah, that's, we've seen Afreda on screen a few times. They've played very, very well. Battleground High School, another very talented school. So I think we're in for an exciting little clash between these two teams here. So we got to learn a little bit about them. The coach for Afreda was saying that this is their first time ever making it this far in the playoffs. So they are a little bit nervous, but he just told them, hey, we don't want to be too nervous. We don't want to be too overconfident. Let's just relax, go out there and play our best Valorant.
And that's always how it's got to be. And you always got to hot sauce. What? Have fun. That, at the end of the day, you can't lose as long as you're enjoying yourself. But you also can't lose with amazing sponsors like we got here. Hey, everyone. We want to give a huge shout out to Zotac Gaming, baby, for powering today's stream. Thanks to their incredible support, we're able to bring this broadcast to all of you, helping to showcase the amazing talent in Scholastic Esports. You can show your appreciation for Zotac Gaming by giving them a shout out on social media. Make sure to join their community on Discord, and don't you dare forget to use hashtag powered by Zotac or hashtag ZotacUSA when you post.
Get those tweets out there. Let us know who you think is going to win today's game. I saw Efreda had banned away both Abyss and Haven, along with Lotus as well, which you must be pretty sad because I see you're hanging out on Lotus yourself, but Battleground's going to ban away Corrode and Sunset. Looks like we are heading to Ascent. So this is the what they used to call the gentleman's map. It's one of the most picked maps, which used to be Haven initially when the game was released. Haven was taken out for a long time, and at which point Ascent became the most picked map. So most teams very, very comfortable on this map.
Very unlike the wild card match, guys, to go with the safest map. Boo! Boo! No, I'm kidding. And it makes sense, right? You want to play a bit more comfortably, especially when there's very high stakes here. Like you said, we are maybe feeling a bit of jitters here if you're on Afreda, so why not kind of get wrapped in the cozy, warm blanket of a very familiar map to make sure that at the very least that's one variable you're able to easily control and understand.
Yeah, and honestly, I love Ascent. I mean, it's a pretty well-balanced map, so we do get to see a lot of fun things happen on this map. But I do believe Efreda will be defending first. Battleground will start out attacking. We talked about a lot of these two-site maps at times have favored that defensive side, but here at the Scholastic scene, a lot of that kind of goes out the window. If you're able to five-man rush a site, kind of take that 5v2, 5v3 advantage, it's something that can really help you turn those tides. So that's where I think that defensive util really comes into play on a map like Ascent, Cypher, Sova, things like that.
And we're going to find out in terms of the utility what you end up picking up for your team. Of course, like you said, Scholastic level, things can get a bit more kooky, a bit more wild. Jokers are going to be up for play, and that means you got to make sure that your composition's up for snuff, and also that your players' technical skills are also ready, honed, and sharpened. At this level, sometimes it really can just be up to one player's peak performance to really set them apart. We are, like you said, familiar with Efreda. Battleground, haven't got to quite see as much game tape from them, but just judging by the fact that they made it to this upper podium, you've got to imagine they've got some skills to back it up. So the Pistols round is going to be a very early determinant to see who those rising stars are when it comes to pulling the trigger in the right spot.
Yeah, and we've seen, I think, Battleground at least once on screen. I do remember the name Ninja Dawn just because their favorite agent is Raze. So I'm a little biased there as well. And the coach was nice enough to give us a little background on some of these players. So we do have one player who's working on some PC issues. So perfect time for us to run down a little bit of what the coach has given us here for Battleground. Pavel, their team captain's been playing Valorant for 3 years. Favorite agent is Omen or Breach. Favorite game besides Valorant is High Pixel Skyblock. We've got Ninja Dawn, who's been playing Valorant for 2 years. That's the Raze. I talked about my favorite one as well. High Pixel Bed Wars, their favorite game. I'm not familiar with High Pixel. I think I've got to do some investigating, D-Lo.
Hypixel just recently got a revamp, I believe. It was kind of a Minecraft-esque esports-driven game that got shut down a little bit in conjunction with Riot, actually. Then it got shut down, but recently got revamped by the dev. But that's neither here nor there. It does just go to show that they're multi-talented, as all these esports athletes have their hands in many a Thanksgiving pie, and hopefully you can be thankful for a nice wildcard victory for either of these teams.
That's right. Scout is delicious out there. Maybe we'll see some of that Marshall action today, but they've been playing Valorant for 3 years. Favorite agent is Gecko. They love Ultra Kill, Team Fortress. We've got Haven as well.
Ooh.
Free time, enjoys hanging outside with the friends. Favorite agent is Phoenix, loves music. I can get down with that as well. And sometimes they just like to go to the beach. They said, hey, that's just me. Finally, last but not least, Mystical. Favorite agent is Reyna. They enjoy hanging out with friends, and something I also enjoy doing, eating food. So shout out to Mystical. They like to explore nature, and pretty simple as that.
Got to make sure that you are eating a balanced breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is what truly makes the foundations of an amazing esports player. I mean, I'm saying it in jest, but also at the same time. You want to make sure you get your 8 hours of rest. You want to make sure that you're eating those 3 meals. Got to make sure it's balanced there, Hot Sauce. 2 bran muffins, a bowl of cereal, an orange, a glass of milk, like all those things you'd see in the commercial next to like a horrible bowl of Captain Crunch. You got to make sure you're getting all your macros.
Yeah, I want some marshmallows in my cereal if I'm going with all that good stuff.
Yes!
The yogurt on the side, the oatmeal,
Yes!
the brown sugar. Sign me up. I'm gonna be starving, and we just got started here. I better slow down a little bit. Ephrata, Battleground High School. One final match here of the regular season. Only one of these 2 teams is going to be able to punch their ticket into the quarterfinals here. So a very, very important game to close out the season here. But these students have been working very hard to get to this point, and it certainly has shown.
I mean, it's like you said, we're hungry, they're hungry, everyone is frothing at the mouth to get into the game and find out what their opponent is made of. And you mentioned a bit about how this map is very familiar. It's very classic. It's very comforting for those who are very familiar with playing Valorant across the years. We have some players, like you mentioned, with that veteran experience across multiple years as well. Are there any agents, despite the fact that, yes, comfort can oftentimes decide what the agent picks are, do we expect to see any agent overwhelmingly be drafted by either side?
I think we need to see a minimum of a Killjoy or a Cypher on both sides. I think those are two agents that we see a ton on this map. I personally am a little biased. I do love Killjoy, but Cypher, very, very good here as well. As far as that intel goes, you look for a Fade or a Sova can be kind of correlated together. You want some type of flash, whether you do that with that duelist or with someone like KO. The opposing team said, hey, we love Raze. KO's ult is great at shutting down other ults like Raze. As soon as you hear a pop, you immediate pop yours. They don't get it back. So there are a few things to consider. We've seen a lot of these teams running double duelist at this scholastic level. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see that Phoenix, Yoru, Reyna coming out here as well.
I mean, with the names of Pickle Ree leading the forefront on the Phoenix wouldn't surprise me one bit. Instead, it is going to be Yoru locked in immediately alongside the Sky, the Chamber as well, and it's a bad omen. As you can see already, Defender's side insta-locked. Going to be taking a bit more of their sweet time on the attack, though.
Yeah, and I believe we've heard Ephrata's coach talk about it. They're a much more comfortable defending side. They run a little bit more of a defensive comp, often only going with that single duelist of Yoru. So I really like this comp here for Ascent, especially with the fact that they're starting out on the defensive side. But if that is the case, they have to make sure they take 7, even 8 rounds on that defensive side to really make yourself feel comfortable. On the other side of things, starting out on the attack, you're looking at that double duelist, Phoenix with the run it back. You've got the Cypher there as well, where we don't see that Cypher or that KJ on the defending side, and it just makes me wonder a little bit, but you might be able to make that up with the wall of deadlock.
Okay, Omen locked in. The Reyna going to be backing up that Phoenix, like you mentioned. And heyo, KO being hovered just like you asked for. It seems that Battleground may be taking some tips from the Master. Don't quite go with that, but still someone else who can grab you some solid intel. That's going to be the Hunter. Sova finishes off the comp.
And that's what we're looking for, right? We don't see that Sova or Fade or that Killjoy or the Cypher on Ephrata's side. So very talented team. Often sticking with that comfortability pick. That's what we've seen week in and week out for them. On the other side of things, I will say I do like Battlegrounds comp a little bit better. They've got the double duelist. They're starting out on the attacking side. They've got Omen for the smokes. They've got Cypher when it does come to defense, or if they're looking to prevent any flank from coming in. You've got Sova for the intel as well. It really is that full package, but at the end of the day, it's about who shows up, who has come to play. So Fredo will look to battle here in this one, starting out on the defensive side.
You know, now that I look at it from this angle with the forward intact as well, I'm getting a bit of deja vu. Monkey on the Sky was an absolute powerhouse before. Is one of the top fraggers on Ifreda. I'm curious to see where they're positioned when it comes to these lineups. Are they with the bulk of the team on defense, or do they decide to split off on their own? It does seem like they're going to be a 3-2 split, the 2 guarding B, but that's where the 5-man rush of Battleground begins.
Yeah, we already see the smoke coming in toward Market as well. Peak Record will try to maybe shift forward. He can hear the footsteps as they stampede, but Scout already finding the first. It's Jake that loses the head. The site completely opened up here in a very first fast plant for Battleground.
Peak trying to contest, but maybe you should have regrouped the rest of the team as they lose their life as well. Guy does it, the Wolf goes on in, actually finds Sova. Gonna be able to instantly take advantage. That's exactly what I expect of that absolutely lethal Simeon. Monkey manages to try to balance the odds, but Battleground still bear the advantage and also bear the site.
Slink able to destroy that Lear right away. It is a 4v3 retake. Scout tucked into the corner. Ninja able to find one here on the Monkey, and now stepping out is Trail Mix that goes down to Haven. Scout will find Slink in Battleground. A dominating round one as they only lose Sova.
I mean, that just comes down to the fact that, you know, you flipped the coin, you decided to put more manpower on top of A, and it's like playing a game of Risk. You just have less troops, and you're going to get overwhelmed. The fact that the Yoru stuck around is a bit unfortunate as well, just given the fact that Peak Record really had no chance of actually finding anything more than just a trade. You didn't trade, you just died, and that means that you had the rest of your team batting at a significant disadvantage. And again, you consider the fact that they only have one duelist. If you lose them early, your offensive power and might goes down by a hell of a lot. Same if Monkey dies, but luckily they're able to back off.
Emptying once more. Haven with on the wall, looking to pop up here as well to help them entry onto site. They got to be careful of this left angle. It's very close. Pablo, though, now pressuring through Tree. The running gun on the spray. He's trying to chase down Deadlock. Kills come in on the site, though. Back and forth we go.
Whoa!
But Ifreda only has Jake standing, who finds one with a headhunter.
I mean, this chased them down. Absolutely massacred. And a brilliant plant there and a brilliant site take. I don't know why I was going to say, surely the round ended, right, guys? It just seemed like we were laying around there for a little bit longer than we need to. Nonetheless, Ifreda just got absolutely pieced apart. They had the Deadlock try to find that flank, and then instantly buyer's remorse, right? You look at your gun, you see you're nursing a pea shooter, and Battleground had rifles. They bought concertedly, and it's like you've always said, Hot Sauce. If you win the pistols round, you're likely going to win the next as well, but also like you say, Hot Sauce, if you're going to buy, make sure you buy together. Ifreda are certainly obeying.
Yeah, got to buy together, got to save together as well. But this is where we talked about it. You start out on the defensive side, but the comp isn't really that defensive. You don't have that Killjoy, that Cypher to slow down these quick, aggressive pushes and allow your team to rotate in time. We see an early rotation this time coming in from Ifreda, though, and it might just be the help they need. They're not going to get it, though. Haven finding the first.
Monkey can't get the utility. Now the running back's going to instantly gather a bunch of info. Jake takes them down, but Scout instantly finds him on the flank. If the right doesn't get you, the left certainly will. Mystical leaves Slink swinging from the fence, and Trail Mix is going to be a foregone conclusion. Another perfect round from Battleground.
A flawless round indeed. They begin to stack the funds into the bank as they invest in these stonks and bonds here for future rounds. It's a full set of rifles for Ifreda, experiencing some of that economic troubles, and ideally they want to stay around that 18 to 1600 mark. We see some players getting past that as they do force in here, and if they're not careful, it could lead to more problems in later rounds.
Can Valorant teach kids financial literacy? I might be convinced. Battleground doing a pretty solid job of managing those funds, and unfortunately, Freight are experiencing a bit of a recession. 3 rounds, though, down. Certainly not untenable. They just have to try to find a way to put a stop in their step. See the split. Afraid to try to rotate around, but unfortunately you already lost Peak Record. Do take some damage though for the troubles, but Scout drops Trail Mix right after. This is looking like rough stuff for Ifreda.
Yeah, the fact that Battleground's doing this well on the attacking side as well. 3 quick wins. They take that full buy round away from Ifreda, and now realistically should win this round. We see Jake and crew making a final stand here, though, putting up some good damage. Unfortunately, the numbers stacked against them. The rotation is already there, and Battleground has complete control of this A site.
And the utility, every single time the Sky puts it out, just only indicates where they're going to be attacking from. Haven does drop Jake before Monkey finishes the job right after. But the spike's already planted. Low health bars there for 2 members of Battleground, but that's still 2 bodies that can shoot at you. And you can already prove it just how effective those 2 bodies can be. Mystical and Ninja combined for the last 2. It's a team ace. Battleground take their 5th round.
Yeah, fourth, excuse me. 4 very quick rounds on the board, and you talk about those economic troubles. It does look like the majority of Ephrata will be able to buy that full buy, but again, one player kind of toying with the idea of maybe experiencing some of those troubles. I think I'd rather see that Bulldog come out here for Trail Mix, maybe opting to go with the Stinger. It's close to a full buy, but again, look at the economy here for Battleground. They're doing exactly what they need to do to set themselves up for success. Scout is delicious, 6-0, and already the ult on deck.
Yeah, I was about to say, you want to prove yourself ready for success, just listen to whatever Hot Sauce says for the comps. This Sova and this Cypher are absolutely murdering because of the intel they can provide, but also just the amazing trigger finger discipline of these 2 players. Jake Grafton has a good flanking spot, but unfortunate is not red quickly enough to find the Sova. Quickly turns the corner and takes down Pobble, but Haven answers the score by dropping Record.
Yeah, and here comes the Stampede. They said enough pitter patter. It's time to get at her. Pressing toward the back of the site. Haven finds a triple. They still got to get through 1, though. The blind is good, but Jake finds Ninja through the blind. Battleground, though, the numbers still here. The flank coming in, but there is a tripwire in place, and this is where that Cypher can be so good.
On the corner, but they know you're there. As the flash out, curveball comes through. Strike! You're out of here! One last beatdown from the baton, the knife encounter! Oh god, it's getting up close and personal. Trail Mix drops Scout for their transgressions. Will hubris be Battleground's downfall?
Don't bring a baton to a knife fight, I guess, says Ephrata. And all of a sudden, it was a 3v1 that favored Battleground. It gets a bit sketchy, but Mystical showing the magical plays as well. The shot through the smoke and the wall will claim the victim. Battleground, a flawless first half so far.
That's just mean, man. That's just mean. You gave them hope, and then you ripped it away. That's awful. I mean, just well done there to Scout to demoralize them by beating him down with a baton and then still having enough faith in their team to finish out the job. That being said, I do want to give ample credit to Trail Mix for holding on as hard as they did up against some of the biggest offensive threats Battleground has to offer. Like you said, though, you can't really ignore the fact that 5-0 is a rough scoreboard to look at, and the Stampede keeps on charging down towards A.
Yeah, and here comes Haven yet again. He's maybe going to stick to the gun and not the baton this time, though, as the flash does connect. Wall goes up. They pressure into sight. They touch shoulders in the smoke, and the run it back is denied.
Oh, if he just had it up, he was just about to lose it, but instead he actually gets the res. Ninja Dawn, though, gets put down. Haven right after. Come back as many times as you want. I've got Le Tour de Force.
The Tour de Force, bringing down the force. The thunder and lightning can be frightening, but Pavel doesn't even bat an eye. He stares directly into the competition of the heaven and puts them straight into hell. Here is now they try to fight back. A one-player advantage favoring Ephrata. And now the Hunter's Fury coming out. Will it find anybody? I think it graced Deadlock there as well. Some intel from it, but the plant now going down from Scout.
And every single time Battleground get the plant down, it just feels like there's a passive aura buff. Mystical setting up shots. You know that wall bang's dangerous. You know Pavel's gun's even more. Sling Swing's already dead, and Pavel doesn't even need the recon dart to know where you're at. Mystical sweeps Monkey away, and only Jake remains. That's rough.
Yeah, Jake remains, but not for a ton of time. The Tour de Force was putting in work. It looked like a great round for Ephrata. I mean, we've seen them almost win at least two, maybe 3 of these that have been very close, but they haven't gone their way. It's led to more economic troubles. They finally will find a full buy here. They've got a couple ults to work with as well. Yoru, Slink Swing, dangerously close here. So I'd like to see some of these utilized and see if we can start to put some rounds on the board.
Oh, man, you really hope these Seekers can do something. Monkey's just been a lot quieter than usual. They're just locked up in the cage of the zoo. But Jake, at the very least, has some momentum behind them. Let's see what they can do with it. An amazing TP shortly following the headshot on Pavel. Amazing aim placement.
All about that crosshair placement can go a long way. When we see the Deadlock wall coming into play here, it does block off the competition, but it looks like one's trying to sneak through. Scout has been a monster this whole time. It'll start off with another opening pick.
Okay, comes the Wolf utility. But instantly eats the wall from Phoenix, rather than Molly as well. Ninja It's the TP. Peak actually finds a kill on a scout. It's an amazing threat taken off the board. Ninja counters it back, but Jake and Monkey combine for 2 more. This could very well be Freida's first round. Only Ninja left.
Oh, Ninja Don, we'll see if he can work that ninja magic here as he has baited the crew. The teleport comes into the other site. The plant goes down. Now for Freida, they've got numbers. They need to play together.
Oh, no!
They can't allow Ninja to isolate the ones. They line up for the collateral. And Battleground not ready to go silently into the night here in round 7.
Everyone group up for the rifle spray? I guess that was the comm. You really, when you only have one opponent you're up against, cannot let that happen, but now it's you staring in the mirror. The doppelganger on action. Trail Mix takes it. Freida are going to be 1 up on the board.
Freida, can it be the single spark to ignite the spectral fire and rekindle the flame for this high school one more time? It's Trail Mix who finds a round on the board, and honestly, Battleground only has 6. If you can find a way to get at least 4, hopefully you get a little bit more, but I'd say a minimum of this 4 is what we're shooting for. We don't want to have to call upon that 9-3 curse if we don't have to.
Okay. We can at least breathe a little bit. Freida, we talked about it, right? Those jitters. They have those nerves. And now maybe you can reassure yourself, say, all right, guys, there's proof in the pudding. We're capable. We can get kills. We can get round victories. Jake seems to be, honestly, that tour de force, literally and figuratively, leading the top of the kill board. Dimensional Drift comes out, a lot of knowledge. Haha, you can't kill me.
Peekaboo, I see you, he says. Dimensional Drift, a ton of intel here for Peak. The smokes come into the way here for them, but again, this deadlock wall is going to prevent any pressure from coming through here. We'll see some shots to the smoke from Mystical, who hit one earlier. No luck on this one, and now they'll begin to shift toward the mid side.
Hobble instantly finds the headshot. That amazing crosshair placement we talked about earlier. This time, batted up by Battleground. Trying to, they just went a bit slower this time around. Uncharacteristic of the stampedes we've seen so far. But maybe that 1-round victory has got Battleground playing it a bit more cautious.
Yeah, I mean, they're hungry for the win. They want to make sure they do exactly what they need to do to grab the dub. The Aldrone will find Slink, tries to back off. Pressure coming from both sides. It's a good smoke to block off the entry, but now with the wall coming up, Trays go back and forth. It's 2 for 1. Slink finds another scout, answers back to a 2v2.
This is rough. You do have Jake, though, up, and that's someone you want. No ultimate left here for Peak. Record means there's nothing going to be saving you except for your own trigger discipline. Jake takes up on top of Heaven, but can you send it back to the underworld? The answer for Haven is absolutely yes. Scout will be following them shortly after. Freida string together a second.
Jake might not have used the tour de force, but he was bringing down the force from the heavens above, raining down death and destruction. It's a couple big picks and a second round on the board in a row as they look to gather some footing and fight back here. They trudge to the trenches once more. Jake up to 9 kills, as well as Pablo and Scout on the other side. Slink's swing, though, I think economy has big thing for them here. We've seen a couple rounds in a row now stuck with the Bucky, which can be an okay weapon in close quarters, but really not giving yourself the best chance to try and find some kills.
Fortunate that they're limiting themselves to that. Monkey trying to limit themselves to stick with the rest of the team, maybe. Location already revealed. All the utilities just coming in spades. Aldrone's out as well. Curveball popped. Who can we drop is the question. Wait, Wolfbine there comes out from the sky. And here comes Jake from up top. No, Scout quickly puts an end to the killing spree. Only Mystical's dead.
Oh, and catch the entry, though. They find 2 before Pablo's able to trade 1 back. The numbers favoring Freida here, and now that entry push will slow down drastically. But you take a look at the top of your screen, Battleground. This Omen has the ult. He's got the spike in hand as well and could teleport to the other side.
He decided to pull the trigger. With Pablo already pulling theirs. Trail Mix is going to go down and trade now. That Revenant, that Phantom that haunted the opposing Omen before, no longer need to worry about it. The deadlock's not been popping off the way you want to as well, but Monkey is situated around the corner. No!
Great positioning from Monkey, calling out the rotation here as well. But the shot from Sova just a bit better. Ninja Don, favorite player raised, but very comfortable on the Omen. 30 seconds on the clock. The dart goes out for the intel. The smoke goes up. It was an early rotation from Freida and this deadlock. Now going to have to circle back. It's a 2v1 retake, and Sova can just play as far back as he wants. He's got the Hunter's Fury to deny the defusal.
And you have that Bucky, which, like you said, Hot, just has no range, no change in who's dominant. Battleground now up 7-2.
Yeah, not so lucky with a Bucky there, especially when you just put yourself in those positions of that long range. I think ideally there, if you're Slink, you want to try and find a fallen comrade, look to upgrade that weapon a bit. But again, at some point, you have to get that economy in check. It's tough to give up a round for free, but you just stick with the pistols. You know that you're going to lose a round, but ideally, you just try to find at least 2 picks. Hold on to those weapons, take them with you into the next round. Hurt the economy of your opponents a little bit. There's still some small wins, some side quests, as my man Dilo likes to say, even in those eco rounds.
Man, and the fact that Ifreda were playing with such a fire, the moment you see a spark, all of a sudden the embers come alive. Deadlock Trap is down, but what advantage are we taking from it? Unfortunately, disadvantage instead. Haven already has dropped a record.
Oh, you see that wall coming out here as well. Now comes into the flash. They look to pressure forward. Monkey on the dog, looking for a bit of intel. Steps through the firewall as well. Ifreda already missing one, and now almost caught with utility in hand. It's another unfortunate Bucky situation.
You just gotta be careful with when you're turning these corners, but Trail Mix could pull things back from the jaws of defeat. Does drop Scout, who is one of the bigger threats, but Pablo is still alive and popping off. Gonna be doing the exact same on top of Trail. Every bullet's a heat seeker for the head.
Every single bullet seems to find a headshot. Battleground has been shooting near perfect crosshair placement, decision making, everything on point. And the Bucky again, it's just not the best weapon. It can work at times, but it's typically scrappy rounds that you want to find it in. You don't want to find yourself buying that Bucky every single round, or just going to be digging that a little bit of a bigger hole than you wish to be in.
Yeah, like sometimes if the bridge continues to be broke, man, you really should try to fix it, huh? Unfortunately, Freda say, we're just going to try it one more time, which I can respect. Sometimes there are flukes, sometimes it can work. And again, comfort does matter. But if you're finding yourself consistently thwarted under that one strategy, it does warrant some evolution. It does warrant some adaptation so far. Freda seems very aggressively as Deadlock. But again, this trap, it's just kind of slowing them down. There's not really an advantage taken, especially when it's positioned like that.
Well, we'll see Pablo pressing forward. Scout already. Scout has found so many first bloods, and the fact that he's done it on a Cypher as well is insane. The run it back once more from Battleground. The flash from Monkey to try and slow him down a bit. Slink will find the run it back. Okay. There's an extra life here. Ninja dodge. Slink now going off that he's got a Vandal in hand.
Okay, 3 to 4, low health on the Cypher, but that Reyna and that Phoenix are still alive unless Jake Rapton finds an answer and killing up a Pablo. Takes down Scout 2, Trail combines to drop Haven, a 2v1, but la Reina todavía está acá.
Oof, back and forth, Mystical, Trail Mix. Mystical again, just hitting these headshots. It's a 1v1. Jake has been a shining star here for Ifreda, though, and if there's one player you want standing, it would be Jake's.
No!
Mystical! A pixel and a millisecond is all they need. Up to 9 and feeling fine.
Dear God, man, I've had a bad feeling in my bones. My bones were shaking, Hot Sauce, when I saw that Reyna was the one left behind. We saw last time she clutched up quite well with that wall bang through the smoke. Mystical just seems to be able to make these round wins be pulled out of a magic hat. Now it's 9 to 2. Again, not insurmountable, but Ifreda really got to find an answer fast. This full buy round very well could be it.
Oh, this is tough, and you just wonder if some of those rounds earlier on were dealt a little bit better with the economy, and maybe it could be a slightly different situation. But again, I think the comp that we're seeing from these agents is just a little bit more suited for Ancient and Battlegrounds at the moment. Hunter's Fury
Dear
finding
God.
Monkey, and they just find something at every single turn, D-Lo.
We're hunting the most dangerous game. Man, Mystical takes down Yor as well. The drone goes right into the below the belt region. That is certainly an illegal move. Ref must have not been seeing it all the smoke, but it does not matter. It's a flawless round from Battleground. Way to stamp their certification as they look to make their way to playoffs.
10 to 2, and well, ready to show everybody just how they do. Second half swappery here, and for Ifreda, you feel like it is a must-win pistol round if they want to give themselves a fighting chance, because we've seen crazier comebacks. So it's certainly not impossible. Now, it's definitely an uphill battle, but it starts with this pistol round. If they can win the pistol round, they get that buy round. They often go on to win the second one. And then if they can steal that full buy round away, all of a sudden you're looking at that 5 to 6 in a row.
I'm looking for, well, here's the issue. I was about to say I'm looking for this utility from the Deadlock to be placed a bit more wisely, but how do you really place it on attack? And that's rough. But you did mention the fact that this comp not meant for defense, it's meant for offense. We got to see the Stampede now from the Ephrata side of things.
Well, Jake being patient, has the Headhunter out as well. A great starting gun for round one, as there's no fall-off damage like that Sheriff. We've got the ADS as well. Pavel, though, and this is where the intel comes into play. A beautiful peek, finds one, can't get a second, but Haven will find two, and they combine for three.
That's already just so rough. That's so devastating. Jake was off by themselves, all by their lonesome, waiting for the TP that just never would come through in the right moment to find the kills their team needed. You drop Pavel, that does feel good, but you still have Delicious out on the prowl, licking their lips and looking for more kills.
I like the fact that we see Battleground sticking together. Yeah, you know, Battleground is a team that we've seen play well before in previous seasons, so it doesn't surprise me. We talked to, you know, Ephrata, they said this is the first time that they've ever made it this far, so maybe some of those nerves, some of those jitters coming into play. Honestly, this is a great stepping stone for them, a great learning experience here as we get closer to that postseason. And honestly, they have a ton of talent littered across this Ephrata squad. I think we're only going to continue to see them get...
And really, that's all you could ask for, right? Out of your esports athletes. Development, evolution. These young bucks have quite the bright future ahead of them. As long as you stay alive for this round. Let's see how long they can last to make that career. In the 14th. Scout waits around the corner, holds it down, and begins holding down left click. You're already injured, Jake already dead. Ninja. Able to drop down peak record as well. Record gets scratched up just a little bit. 3 members on Ephrata left. Battleground bearing all 5, and everyone's still feeling nice and alive. Mystical holds down the corner in conjunction with the Phoenix. Monkey could very well be the hope, but so far they've been kept on a short leash, and Scout is off the reins. Trail Mix is off of the board. Two members now to 5. Battleground, hold the corner. Haven instantly finds the headshot. Every shot is 1 kill. They're playing a whole different game. This is COD 1 in the chamber. A flawless round there from Battleground. What a beautiful, beautiful demonstration of excellent marksmanship coming out there from our friend, the Phoenix. Has that run it back ready already. And that's just the most terrifying thing. None of these run it backs have been wasted. Always drawing so much focus and fire from Ephrata. Opens up the way for the Reina or for that Sova Cypher combo to just punch a hole right through. Recon Bolt does get destroyed rather quick. That certainly feels good. Ephrata to make a storm down left side. They're hesitating. You can tell why. Those jitters, once again, the Wolf comes through, the flash is out, and the run-up-backs instantly pop. Well done there by Haven to ensure they stay alive, and Pavel quickly takes advantage once more by dropping Record. Scout makes sure to take down Slink by swinging around the back, and Haven drops Jake as well. Things are all falling apart as Pavel takes down Trail Mix as an afternoon snack, and only the lone monkey remains. Apes together strong. Apes by themselves, weak. Battleground, taking 13.
What a showing from Battleground. It just seemed like Ephrata